Daniel here for Tabletop for One. Please join me at the table as I teach and play through The Expedition. And I thank you for joining me for this tutorial and solo playthrough of The Expedition. This is a small box game that is up for pre-order now. It's designed by John Lowman. And this is like a 5 to 10 minute puzzle game. And it comes in a nice little tuck box here. I was provided with a review copy of the game to provide a tutorial solo playthrough. And so in Expedition, you're going to be exploring different planets and you're going to be trying to do certain expeditions, which require you to explore certain planets in a particular order. Now, the way you set up the game is fairly simple. You're going to set out these awesome looking planet cards here in a 9x9 grid. You can randomize them and set them up. The only thing you need to know on these cards here is the point values. Those point values will be relevant when it comes to scoring. And then you're going to shuffle the expeditions deck and draw 3 cards. These 3 will serve as your expeditions for this particular game, and you'll randomize this every time you play. There's a lot of different cards here to choose from, and they give you all sorts of different expeditions to do. Then you're going to pick a player color, 1 for you and 2 for the AI. I'm going with the orange here, and the one AI on this side will be blue and the other will be purple. Then you're going to shuffle the automations deck here and draw 2 cards. And you'll assign these to the different AIs here. These will be their movement cards. And that's it for setup. So let's go into the goal of the game here. Now, the goal of the game is to get the most points. Now, the AI itself only serves to hinder you and block you and remove your cubes from the board. So you will not be scoring the AI. You will be scoring for yourself, and you're going to score for each of the different expeditions that you complete during the game. You'll notice at the bottom here, they have a score value. Each of these 3 here in particular have a value of 4. And so the next thing we're going to do before we start with the game is we're going to set up the AI's meeples here. And you look on their card and it tells you where it's going to start. The S here. So the blue's going to start in this card here on the grid. And this one here starts in the middle card. And then I get to choose where I want to start. And I guess I'll go ahead and start up here. Now the way you play the game is very simple. On your turn, you're going to move your meeple 1 space. And you can only move orthogonally adjacent, not diagonal. And so when you move your meeple. I move it here. And then what you do is you drop off one of your cubes where your meeple was before. And then if there are any other cubes there, you actually remove all of them. And then the last thing you do on your turn is you check to see if you've completed an expedition. And if you have, then you can turn in that expedition. And so what I would do personally is just flip it over. And so that's how the movement happens. The same thing goes for the AI. You're just going to follow the AI here on the grid. So the first move is to 1, next one's to 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's going to be a total of 9 turns for all players in this game. And so let's look at these 3 expeditions that I have to complete here. The first one is have 5 markers anywhere. So if I have 5 cubes on the board, I complete this one. This next one is to have markers on a whole diagonal. There's only 2 diagonals here, so the 3 here or the 3 here. And this last one here is to have markers in 3 corners. And so at the end of the game, you're going to score based on your expeditions and on any of your markers still left on the planets, and the planets have their points shown at the bottom. Now there's 2 ways to score. You can score with the planets and the expeditions, or you can just go for the expeditions. It's kind of a harder way to score a lot of points. And as you can see here with these 3 particular expeditions, the most I can score is 12 points. So I will be doing the harder mode, trying to only score expeditions, which means I have to focus on the expeditions more than focusing on the high point planets like these 4 here. And so we're just going to go ahead and continue. I'll let that be my first move of the game. And so we look at the next AI, and this AI here moves 1 space to the middle spot here, as in the number 1. It'll drop off a cube in the previous space. And then the purple is going to go. It's going to move up here and drop off a cube here. Then it's my turn, and I think I will move down, dropping a cube right here. The blue explorer is going to move up to the middle here, number 2, dropping a cube in the previous spot that it was in. Purple is going to move to the right, again following this automation card here. It'll move to this space and it'll drop off a cube here. In my turn, I'll move over here, dropping off a cube here. Now I am trying to get 5 on the board here, as well as trying to get the corners, but it looks like purple's going to take away my corner here. Now one thing to note is you can occupy the same space as other explorers, so that's not an issue. But you have to time everything here so that your cubes are in the right place at the right time for you to complete these expeditions. So now it's blue's turn. They're going to go to the left here now, into this space. They'll drop their cube off here and remove any other cube, and that's the purple's cube. And then next, purple is going to drop down and then remove my orange while gaining a purple there. And then my turn here, I think I'm just going to keep making my way this way. I will drop off cube here and get rid of the blue one. Blue's going to venture north this time, dropping off cube here. And then purple's going to move over here, dropping off a cube and getting rid of mine. That's really unfortunate. I still only have 2 cubes on the board. And so for my turn, I will move up this way, dropping off a cube here. Then blue's going to move here, dropping off a cube. Purple's now going to move over to where I am and meet me there. And for my turn, I will move up. I think that's the best way for me to go right now. So we're on turn number 6 here. Blue is moving over here and swapping out those cubes. And purple is going to move here. It's going to move up and it's going to get rid of my cube there. That's really unfortunate. However, with my turn here, I'm actually going to move back this way, dropping off a cube here. And now, as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3 in corners. So I have completed this expedition. I'll flip it over here. And now blue's going to drop down here, getting rid of purple's cube. Purple makes its way to the middle section on the top, once again getting rid of one of my cubes. I only have 2 turns left. I don't think I can get both of these. That's not good. So I'm going to try and get this 5 marker one here. And so I'll move my way up here, and now I've got 4 markers on the board. Blue's going to move towards the middle. There we go. And then purple's going to move to the corner here, getting rid of blue's cube. And then this is my 9th turn. So after this, I get nothing else, but I will move over here, dropping off. And now I've completed, have 5 markers anywhere. So I have 5 here, and that's done. And blue's final turn is to move up here, getting rid of this cube. And purple's final turn is to drop down here. Now you may be wondering why I did those final 2 turns, because they didn't change anything. It's because if you score with the planets, those final 2 moves with the AI may remove some of your cubes and you may lose some points that way. Of course, since I am scoring for the expeditions only, I don't have to worry about that. And so now the game has ended, and then we score here, and I have a total of 8 points here. It's 4 and 4. And so that is it. That is how you play the game. Now, if you're scoring with the planets, I of course would have gained all these extra points here. That's another 11 points, making it a total of 19. And so there you have it. That was the tutorial and solo playthrough of the expedition. It is currently on pre-order and available on their website. I have a link in my description if you want to check it out there. I believe it's only $15 to pre-order. They are releasing shortly after Gen Con, so later on in August. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comments below. Also, let me know what I could have done better. Each of these setups provides its own unique puzzle, depending on the automation cards that you get or the expedition cards that you get. So there's a lot of different combinations that change the way it goes. And also where you start on the board matters as well. So I'm sure I could have definitely done better. You'll have to let me know where I should have started and maybe what moves I should have made instead. But please also like and subscribe to this channel if you like the content you see here. And if you'd like to support me on Patreon, I have a link in the description. And I thank everyone who has supported me thus far. And thank you very much for joining me on Tabletop for One. Have a great night.